Good evening to all. Are you ready for a new story tonight? Tonight I will take you all on a journey through the history. We will get to know Max, a boy who had the passion for reading and learning about history. Long ago, there was a young boy named Max who had a passion for reading and learning about history. Max had always been fascinated by history, as he often spent most of his free time at the local library, devouring every book he could get his hands on. One day, while visiting the local library, Max came across a dusty, old, mysterious book with no title. Intrigued by its peculiar appearance, he eagerly opened the book and flipped through its pages. Suddenly, without warning, a blinding light filled the room, and Max felt himself being pulled towards the book. Before he knew it, he had been dragged into a swirling vortex of colors and sound, hurtling through space and time at lightning speed. After a while, Max found himself standing in the middle of a fancy office, surrounded by classic furniture that looked like it belonged in a different era. As his eyes adjusted to the dim lighting, he caught a glimpse of a tall, lanky man with a beard and a hat standing in front of him. To his amazement, Max realized it was Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. He had read a lot of books about Abraham Lincoln, but this was the first time he saw Abraham Lincoln in person. It wasn't a dream. There was Abraham Lincoln standing there in flesh and blood. Max's heart raced with excitement as he realized that he had been transported back in time. He had stumbled upon the time of the Civil War, when the United States was divided over the issue of slavery. To Max's surprise, President Lincoln smiled and welcomed Max to the White House. "Welcome, my young friend," he said in a warm, grandfatherly voice. "What brings you to the White House today?" Max told him about the mysterious book found in the library and how he had been transported back in time. Lincoln chuckled. "Well, you're not the first person to stumble upon a bit of time travel in the White House, I assure you," he said. "But no matter how you got here, you're welcome to stay a while and see what the world was like in my time. Who knows? You might even learn a thing or two." Max looked into the kind, wise eyes of the great president. He knew that he was in for an unforgettable journey through history. Lincoln led Max on a tour of the White House, showing him the various rooms and sharing stories about his life, presidency, and his dream to end slavery. Max listened and was fascinated by the way Lincoln spoke and the wisdom he imparted. Eventually, Lincoln and Max made their way to the Oval Office, where Lincoln showed a large map of the United States on the wall. "Let me show you something, Max," he said. "This is a map of the country as it looked when I was president. You see these states here in the South? They are part of the Confederacy, a group of states that wanted to leave the Union and form their own country." Max nodded, remembering his history lessons. "Yes, sir," he said. "I've read about the Civil War and how it was fought to preserve the Union and end slavery." Lincoln smiled. "Very good, Max," he said. "But what you may not know is just how difficult it was to win this war. But I will do anything in my power to keep this country together and put an end to slavery." As he spoke, Lincoln pointed to various battlefields on the map, recounting the stories of bravery and sacrifice that had taken place there. He showed Max a battle report received from General Grant regarding to the victory at Gettysburg. Lincoln's eyes glistened and shed with tears as he thought of the countless men who had given their lives for the Union cause. He took off his hat to show respect for fallen soldiers as he was mourning for them. After a few moments of silence, Lincoln spoke up. "This victory is a turning point in the war, Max. It is a great step forward in our fight for freedom and unity. General Grant and his men fought bravely," Lincoln continued, "but we must not forget the sacrifices made by all the soldiers who have fought and died for our country." Max looked up at Lincoln with an admiration in his eyes. Despite the immense pressure of leading the nation through a devastating war, Lincoln remained focused on the well-being of his people and the importance of preserving the Union. Their conversation continued for hours, with Lincoln sharing more stories and insights about his time as president. Max was amazed by how much he was learning, and he knew that this experience would stay with him for the rest of his life. As the day drew to a close, Lincoln bid Max farewell and sent him back to his own time. But Max knew that he would never forget his journey through history with the great Abraham Lincoln. Max woke up from his nap on the library table and realized that the incredible experience with Abraham Lincoln was just a dream. He looked down at the book he had been reading and was surprised to see that the title had changed to The Journey Through History. Max realized that the educational lesson of his journey through history was not just about the past, but also about the present and the future. By understanding the events and people that shaped our world, we can better understand the challenges and opportunities of our own time. He closed the book with a smile, feeling grateful for the opportunity to travel through history and excited to continue his own journey of learning and discovery. Max knew that he would always cherish the memories of his dream with Abraham Lincoln and the lessons he learned from the journey through history. Now the story comes to an end. I hope you all enjoy the story tonight. Good night. See you all in the next story.